pronounce yours Oquendo, but it's Oquendo.
Yes. So welcome to another episode of the Women Petpreneurs podcast with your host, Mary Oquendo. And yes, you can pronounce it. I don't care how you pronounce it. Oquendo, you're accurate. Okay.
All right.
So I would like to welcome my guest, Colette Resnikoff. Hi, Colette.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm glad you're here. So I always like to start off with first, how did you get involved in the pet industry?
So that's kind of a funny story, but I took my Great Pyrenees to a self-wash grooming station, and she was new at that point. I had never groomed professionally, and she was actually my first dog, and she had a fit, and she knocked everything over, and she was like 6 months old, and I just decided, well, okay, I'm going to do this at home where it's like a less stressful environment for her, and I loved it, and I just thought it was a great experience. I liked caring for her myself. I trusted myself the most, and then people started commenting on how gorgeous she was, and would I wash their dog, and it kind of grew organically from there, and I just began studying, and then it turned into skincare and plants and herbs and learning about products, and it kind of just morphed and snowballed.
So I see you have many conversations with Michelle Knowles.
Not as many as with Christine, but I've had some with Michelle. Yeah.
Okay,
I
Michelle and
her.
Christine are my two go-to people for anything skin and coat.
Yes. Yeah, they're both amazing.
Okay, so did you start your own business?
I did. My boyfriend actually built a spa from the ground up on property, um it started out in the backyard with hose baths, though. I'm not gonna lie, I started with nothing. So and then it took probably 2 to 3 years, because I'd had enough of the extreme weather in Texas, because people think the winters aren't cold, but they're cold, and the summers sure are hot.
Okay, so cold is a relative term. Hot is a relative term.
Right.
Okay, it really depends on where you're from, because I have friends in Florida who, if it's 50 degrees, they've got their winter coats out.
So I'm from New Jersey.
Okay, so you know cold.
I know what real cold is. Yes. I'm not like from Michigan or anything, but yeah, I know what real cold is. And we had a we had a freeze down here a couple of years ago where it was 6 degrees in Texas.
Cold.
Really, really very cold. Even for New Jersey, that's cold. And all my equipment busted. I had hot water heaters that just did not survive those temps. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not prepared for those temps, it's yeah. My daughter is in Atlanta, and you know what? She's a New England girl, just like
Mm-hmm.
myself. So she's used to cold weather, you know. And they had a real snowstorm, not one of these, couple of flakes floating around in the sky. No,
Right.
no, no. They had a real snowstorm for which they were totally unprepared for. And you know what? And she was, like, we got to do this, we got to do that. And she calls me up, she goes, I just watched my neighbor shovel his walkway with a spatula. But when you don't have the equipment,
Right. Yeah. You
you
got
know,
to do what you got to do.
you
I'm
gotta
over
do what
here.
you gotta do.
I'm over here like with, recalling on all my Northeast training. And I'm like, fill the bathtubs in case the pipes freeze. And people are going, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "That's what you do." So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we moved out here to the Pacific Northwest where we do get snow, but we don't get a much. We don't get much snow. One thing I did not move over across the country was the snowblower. That went up to my daughter in New Hampshire, but we brought our shovels
Mm-hmm.
because, for those in Texas may not, or any place you don't get a lot of snow, there's different shovels for different types of snow.
Yes. Yes. There's you need a wet snow shovel, and it better be sturdy, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
know what? Wet snow is really heavy.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's a backbreaker.
Yeah, so you also need one to push snow when snow is a little bit lighter, and something that you could actually lift snow. But you know what? That's not what we're here to talk about.
No, it's not. We digress.
We digress. We digress. And I'm just gonna say I don't miss the New England winters. I
Mhm.
really don't. They're calling for a warmer and drier winter than normal here, and I'm like, yeah, shorts throughout the winter. I am going to be so happy.
Awesome.
You don't have to put me in a pair of long pants. I'm a happy person.
Okay. That's
Okay,
all you. That's all you.
that's all me. Okay, so we'll see how far into the winter I get wearing just shorts. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, again, back over to the topic. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I know you have a an organization, correct?
Um, gosh, that's maybe a lofty way to put it. I am building a media publishing outlet called Texas Animal Progress Newsletter. And I wouldn't call that an organization at this point. It is a collection of ideas centered around animal advocacy, where I source successful strategies from across the country and try to bring them here to our community, and see if people are willing to consider them and look at them, and I guess evaluate whether or not they're feasible to help, because I don't know how much you know about animal welfare in Texas, but
I
um,
know, I know. You know what? I know next to zero. So why don't you tell me about animal welfare in Texas?
it it is probably 50 years behind what the I'm like I said, I'm from the Northeast, and I think that there's been a long term strategy of spay and neuter, and preventing overpopulation for a long time. There's a big focus in other parts of the country um, to eliminate suffering on the parts of the animals, and then also focus on public safety for communities.
Yeah.
And we're just way behind the times on that, and we've got backyard breeders galore, and stray animals running around all over the place, and there are very high euthanasia rates in the shelters, because they are incredibly overcrowded.
Okay.
So
Yeah. You know what? I can't remember I can remember the last time I saw a stray animal, but growing up, so let's go back to the 60s. All right.
mhm,
60s in New York. Okay. So at that time, I grew up in Yonkers and we were a suburb of New York City. So we would get a lot of animals dumped. Okay. In fact, most of our pets came from dumped animals. I mean, they would just like basically knock on the door and say, "Hey," you know,
right,
uh, and they would. I remember Maxie. Maxie was a Basenji, all right, who ended up in our backyard, and and those were good stories. Okay,
yeah, Right.
There were also the stories that I can remember. I mean, and to this day, I mean, I am still traumatized by it. Okay. I can remember some guy basically throwing a German Shepherd out of his vehicle, driving off, and this dog chasing after him.
It's heartbreaking.
And but I think but times they have changed. For the last time I was there, and even here in the Pacific Northwest here in this Squim area, I rarely see a stray animal. Um, and if it's a stray animal, it's generally a lost animal, someone trying to find their way home. I don't see
Right.
a lot of dumping here. All right, even cats, I don't see many stray cats. Now, on the flip side here, part of the reason we're not going to see a lot of stray cats is because we have mountain lion, bobcat, coyote here, eagles.
Yeah.
So that's going to significantly cut down in any stray cat population. But I can remember the first time the area did a TNR trap, neuter, and release program for the
Hmm.
cats.
Hmm.
I had a lot of clients who that for them that was their full time job.
Yeah.
Retired people, um, uh, people who had another income coming in, so they didn't need to work, um, and that's what they did.
Hmm. That's it actually, so TNRM, trap, neuter, return, maintain, like the maintain, the M at
Right,
the end was the only way that it actually just passed statewide as a legal thing in Texas, because it actually, there were still some communities that saw it as abandonment,
yeah,
right? So if you just fix them and then turn them loose wherever, um, it is abandonment if there's no colony keeper in place,
right,
a person to feed and water them, and if they appear sick, to get them some medical care. Um, and so that just passed. Like, we're talking within the last year or two, and so now the whole state is on the same page that is legal now, as far as putting the money and the resources and the time towards, a real program. That's a whole different issue. We just started with step one. It's
okay.
legal. That's progress.
No, you know what? Take progress where you can get it.
Right.
So, um, so tell me about the newsletter itself. All right, so um, what goes into doing the newsletter? Let's start there.
Okay. What goes into the newsletter is me sourcing all of the, um I'm pretty much a follower, right? So I'm watching all of these other organizations, like Bailing Out Benji, and the No Kill Advocacy Center out of California, and Team Shelter USA, and Maddie's Millions, and just dozens of resources of places that are trying new things. Because in the South, this isn't just an exclusively Texas issue. It's definitely, I think it's a down South culture difference. Um, and so lots of places are doing lots of different things to try and combat the issues from different angles.
Okay.
So, Bailing Out Benji focuses on how do we stop backyard breeding, and the No Kill Advocacy Center educates about the entire no kill equation and all the different working parts of it. It's not just keeping the animals alive in the shelter and then they still don't have quality of life. It's a whole, there's a lot of moving pieces to it, and we want to do that. We want to improve quality of life over everything, for the animals. So it's not just to long term warehouse them in shelters and say, well, we're keeping them alive. We're doing them, we're doing right by them. And if you still have a shelter that's super overcrowded, and it's so crowded that nobody even gets a walk per day, then it's anyways, there's just a lot of different things that different places are trying. The Texas Humane Legislative Network focuses on getting progressive animal laws passed every year, making tremendous, amazing strides. So I go and follow all these things, and then I publish them on the newsletter. And sometimes I'll go to a city council meeting, or I'll email a new strategy to a city council member in our area, or the commissioner's court, and deliver these ideas from El Paso, from Los Angeles, from Buffalo, all over the place. People are trying different things.
And I
So,
just want to say something. Pooh Bear, who is sound asleep in my sweatshirt at the
what's
moment.
up, Blue
Hey, Pooh,
Bear?
Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear is from Texas.
Oh, that's cool.
He came in on, I forget the name of the shelter. It was a transport. And
Uh-huh.
they specialize in little pets. It might have been like little pets shop, whatever it is. I don't remember. It's too many years. But he came in on a transport from Texas up into the New York area,
Okay.
where he made his way to my house.
We're trying to do more of that. Pooh got lucky, like you said. There are good stories, and
Yeah.
Pooh lucked out for sure. I know he landed in the best place possible.
Yes, he's such a good boy. His original name was Taco. Yeah, I know.
That's beautiful. I can't believe you changed it.
Oh, come on. I am not calling my dog Taco.
I'm in Texas. I see nothing wrong with it.
Okay, so yeah, no, his name is not Taco. He would not even respond to it.
Oh, aw.
He was
Well,
like,
now he's Pooh.
he's
Now you
Pooh
need a
Bear.
piglet. Now you need a piglet too.
Yeah, I've got 4 other dogs. We're good. I got 3 other dogs. Sorry, I'm down to 4 dogs. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, no. We're good at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I just want to say too, Pooh is a Texan.
That's awesome. That's very cool. All my pets are Texan. They're all from here. Um, I've got a community cat, Ricky Bobby, and she adopted me. She just showed up in the backyard, which is how most of the cats work around here. But then I've also got Parkour Jim, and he came from a rehoming page. And then there's Button, who's a survivor of an abandonment case, and she had 12 siblings, and a mom who um, did not make it. So Button is the lone survivor, and she's a little bit feral, a little wild. She just doesn't. She didn't have those that maternal and littermate bonds, and so we're working it out. But she's a handful, and I still don't. I know she's part Pyrenees. That's the only thing I know for a fact. Um, and then there's this other part of her that talks like a husky, and there's this other part of her that jumps around like a Malinois. So there's a lot happening in this household.
Okay, okay. I think well, Pooh Bear is definitely a Chihuahua, and I believe a Manchester Terrier mix.
Okay, he's adorable.
He's adorable. He's got
Yeah.
a little underbite, got a little underbite, and my husband wanted to call him Muggsy. We put the kibosh on that name as well. Um, but anyway, so newsletter. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the newsletter, right? So you gather all this information and you put it together in a newsletter, and then how do you disperse it?
Okay, so the technicalities are really still coming together. I I think what my best strategy is going to be is like Wix, a Wix newsletter or a Wix or a WordPress website to distribute it monthly. And I, it just really hasn't hit the ground running. I haven't hit the ground running with it, and I don't have all the detail. It's in its conceptual form. I know what I want to do in my head, but the execution just hasn't really happened yet. I'm doing the legwork on the background,
Oh,
in the but I haven't found the vehicle to deliver the results and the information to an audience. So,
okay.
um, there
All right.
there it is.
So the question is, are there people in the animal rescue world who might be able to offer assistance, like sort of like what they do,
Yeah, I know that Villalobos, Pitbulls and Parolees.
right?
Are you
Yeah, I'm
familiar?
familiar
Okay.
with them.
Well, they just started, a newsletter. That was a thing that they just started doing for the first time. And and I know that they're good people. They're our neighbors in Louisiana. They're not in California anymore. And
Okay.
and I haven't really asked for help. What I did do though was reach out to SCORE.
Oh, good. That's a
I
good place.
Yeah, so I was like, yes, I got a mentor and a person. I'm linked up with a person to help me with business plans for Tap newsletter amongst other things.
Okay.
And I got a kids book that I'd like to publish about dog body language and behavior to help reduce um, bites and help teach kids about respectful interactions and understanding canine body language and behavior uh, so that there can be more successful adoptions. And it turns out 90% of, I think 80 or 90% of
It's the
animals
business.
that are rehomed are because of behavioral issues.
Yep. That's about an accurate number of them.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it's a lot because it doesn't have to be that high if people understood animal behavior.
Yep, agreed.
We've all seen the pictures of the little kid squeezing and hugging a dog, and oh, how cute. And you could see the look in that dog's eyes as he's terrified.
Right, and his ears are pinned back and he's got the whale eyes going on and he is not a happy camper. And you're like, this could just be moments until it goes badly, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a client that ended up putting their Bichon down, and it was more than just behavioral issues. And she had a
Mhm.
young granddaughter, and it didn't take much to set this dog off. All right. For me, I groomed this dog like every 6 weeks, and I'll tell you there was crossed wiring on this dog.
Yeah.
This wasn't just, they weren't training the dog. Um, this dog was out of their scope as pet
Mhm.
owners. Maybe somebody else could have been okay with this dog,
Yeah.
but not inexperienced pet owners and not one with young grandchildren running around. They ended up putting him down because he just latched onto the little girl's face.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And you see it. I mean, I feel like if you're paying it, I hate to be judgmental. I really try hard not to, but I'm like, if you can see the animals uncomfortable, we want to try everything we can to get it into an environment where there's a lot less going on,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Especially if there already are behavioral issues and challenges, like let's not put them in the most stressful environment
Yeah.
possible. A lot of my grooming was focused on, low anxiety. My grooming business is one-on-one and cage free and low stress, and I do all the things, and I learn from you guys in positive ed about, aromatherapy and tea touch and crystals and Reiki and all the things, I give the calming treats, and I look into CBD. Now, I don't disclaimer, I don't do these things without parental consent or anything like that. And a lot of that starts with my these are mostly things that are for my own pets, but in a grooming salon though, I definitely um do everything possible to make it the least stressful experience that it can be for the dog. I think that I mean, just short of cucumbers on the eyes and I watch Romaine Michelle though, and she's got her towel warmer going on, and wow, that is a deluxe experience over there. She's got
Yeah,
heated towels.
Angie's
Yeah,
got a towel warmer in her salon too.
not a bad deal. I'm like, woof. Can I? Yeah,
I'm thinking I don't have a towel warmer.
exactly.
Okay. I don't have a towel warmer. And I remember when one year I went to the New England show, and I forget if it was Rhode Island or Massachusetts because they kept moving it back and forth all the time. And it was in November, and I come home with a wool coat for one of my dogs. You know what? And that was Marcus. Marcus was a min pin, and Marcus was very comfortable in his sexuality. He could wear the pink and be cool with it. Okay. He loved clothing, loved it. So I
Oh, that's
buy
awesome.
him this winter coat and put it on him, and he's like, "Look at me, I'm just so hot." And then my other dog, whose name was Reno, Reno was not a friendly dog. He was a German Pinscher, and we adopted him when he was about 5, and he was never really good with other. It took him really a long time to warm up to people.
Mhm.
Okay. So he's now jealous that Marcus has a coat. Okay. So then I had to take my dog over to this doggy boutique that wasn't too far. And for a dog that didn't really like people, he was trying on coats and running up to people. Hey, do I look good in this? Does this make my butt look fat? He was so excited. And we come home, and yes, it's November, but we were having an Indian summer with 70 degrees outside. So
Yeah.
I have 2 of my dogs outside, one in a wool coat. And mind you, I don't own a wool coat. My dog has a wool coat. And Reno was out there in a Burberry. I don't own Burberry.
Yeah, wow. Was the other one like maybe Woolrich or Pendleton?
I don't know, but it was Buku Box,
Fancy schmancy.
fancy schmancy. So I got these 2 dogs in winter coats and 70-degree weather prancing around my backyard.
Too
And my
funny.
neighbor's looking at my dogs. She goes, Mayor, it's 70 degrees outside, right? I go, yeah, I do. But you tell them that
Right.
you take their coats off and see what happens.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. All right. Getting back on topic.
Mhm,
Anyway, so you have your newsletter. All right.
mhm.
And so what kind of support do you need from your grooming community to help with this newsletter?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. Um, I so I need like subscribers. I think I need subscribers to my link tree for starters, and then you can find all the things from my link tree. Um,
So what is your link tree link?
My link tree is Colette unders. Uh-oh, I lost you. Hold on. I hit a button.
No, you're
So
still here. Trust me, you're still.
okay. It's only me screwing up on my side.
Yep.
It's Colette underscore R, Colette underscore R,
Well, I'm sorry. Spell that one more time.
Colette underscore R. And it's the same thing for my Venmo, and it's the same thing for my link tree.
All right, so if
And
someone was to find you on Linktree, how would they do that? So you go to linktree.com.
their web, their URL is linktr.ee. And then I think there's a backslash or two. I'm,
Hold on a second. Let me see
I'm
if I.
not I'm not looking at it right now, but it is on my Facebook profile, which is public. Um, and so I got that link tree idea from Reggie Scissorhands because apparently he's all in the know about marketing stuff like that. So I said, okay, well, that looks pretty slick. I'll make one of those. And that, that links all the places to find me. So that links up my LinkedIn and my Facebook and my TikTok and my Tap newsletter. So I can find all those things, through the link tree, or you can find them through the link tree, and it's all just one convenient place. I'm probably searchable
Oh, here
for
you go.
Google.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So it's Linktree, linktr.ee, a
Uh-huh.
slash, and then Colette underscore R.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
So if I click on to subscribe, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So how does somebody offer like financial assistance to you?
I think on there is a Venmo also. I'm accepting Venmo payments at this point. And you generously sent me a PayPal for your tap newsletter interest and donation. So I have a PayPal up as well. That is not linked to the Linktree, but I can do that certainly.
All right.
Um,
So this is what I would like. Make my life
okay,
easy. Okay.
do tell.
All
Yes.
right. Set up some sort of subscription where for, I don't know, let's just say $10 a month. All
Uh-huh.
right. Sign up for a subscription and it automatically takes $10 out of my account, whatever I got linked to it as payment every month. And then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to remember to do it. It's automatically sent to you.
Okay. Awesome.
I would ask your
I'm going
store.
to talk to my mentor about that, unless you've got some free time.
Of setting it up where I would talk to him only because to set it up, because if how to set it up so that it's, I guess, the best tax friendly way for you to do it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I can show you how to set up a subscription, but whether or not that's really in your best interest, I don't know. So
Okay.
I would start with him and go that way. And then, let me know when it's set up so I can make a donation every month. So like set it and forget it.
Okay. And I'm not set up as a 501c3 yet, but that is the goal.
Okay.
I'm definitely not.
That's time consuming to do, just so that you know.
Yeah. I I I mean it's cost effective. I've already done the pricing on it, and it's not terribly expensive to do. But I
It's just
think
time
meeting
consuming.
the qualifications.
It's not only that, because we set that up for Washington as the Washington Association, and you got to
Mhm.
do things in a timely manner. Once you start the process, you got to
Mhm.
finish the process.
Commitment.
So if you start it, you got to commit to seeing it through, and just um I don't know if their website, you should contact, I'm putting Tammy on the spot. Hey, Tammy, if you're listening to this, Colette's going to call you,
Thank you.
you know, sorry, Tammy,
No
about
pressure. No
no pressure,
pressure.
no pressure at all. She'll yell at me later. Um, of setting it up so that it's hard to find a lawyer to do it because a lot of them don't want to be bothered with it.
Mhm.
Okay. But yeah,
Okay. But that's the goal, because I know, like, I'm not looking to get rich off it. The idea is to none of my advocacy stuff has been contributing to my wealth for sure.
okay,
So, um I think that it would be appropriate to do it as an either a not for profit or a non-profit. Those are both different from my
yeah,
understanding.
yep, they are.
So but neither one is trying to make the organization rich. So
Yeah, but you should have expenses covered.
correct. That is definitely the goal.
Yeah. So it's
So
not,
I would like to cover
oh,
travel
mhm.
expenses. I would like to cover technology expenses. I would like uh, to cover attendee um, functions and tickets to go to things and network to with people that I need to meet in this same space, and make headway. And so those are the kind of things that I can see as far as fixed overhead.
Okay. Well, I wish you well with it.
Thank you.
Okay. So Colette, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And I hope you get 1 million subscribers.
Oh, thanks, Mary.
Okay. I just subscribed. Now Linktree is trying to send me, a 6-digit code to prove I'm human.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, so that might be fun because every time I put the code in, they're saying it's incorrect.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just like a timing thing. So the
Yeah,
code,
like don't like faster, faster. Prove that
yeah,
you're a faster human.
yes,
Thank you so much. So I appreciate everything.
not a problem. And like I said, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here.
My pleasure.